Hi guys, I have been delaying putting this video out because I'm so worried about offending people, which is turning into a bit of a theme with my videos. But just keep in mind that everything that I talk about in my videos is completely subjective. It's from my own personal experiences as a foreigner, as I learn about this country, and as I build my life here. So just keep that in mind. These are generalizations, but they are based on my personal own experiences. Okay, let's watch the video. Assalamu alaikum guys, today I am doing a video that is specifically aimed at foreign women who are dating or entering into some kind of serious relationship with an Arab man. This is because since starting this channel, I have had so many foreign Western women get in touch with me and say that they are dating an Arab man or they're about to move to their husband's home country, and they want to know some of the biggest challenges that I have come across with an intercultural, interracial, interfaith, into everything relationship. The first thing to address, that is just the most obvious thing, is the word dating. Dating is still really taboo in this region. People do date and it does happen, but people don't like it generally in the culture. People don't tend to talk about it too much, and definitely the older generations don't approve. People will tell you that that's not true and that dating is very common here and that there's no stigma against it or anything like that, because they want Jordan to seem progressive and liberal and all of those things. And like I said, it does happen, but it happens secretly behind closed doors, and you don't present a girl usually to your parents by saying, "This is my girlfriend." Especially not a girl presenting a boy to her parents and saying, "This is my boyfriend." It just doesn't really happen here. But when you're a foreigner, your boyfriend or your husband, his parents are more likely to treat you with more freedom than they would if you were an Arab girl, because they're trying to be respectful of your values and the different ways that you do things in the country that you're from. But it's just useful to keep in mind that they wouldn't be tolerating it in the same way if you were a local. And that's something that's going to keep coming up. Because you're a foreigner, you're going to be treated slightly differently, you're going to get more leeway, you're going to get away with a lot more than a local girl might. And as well, you are also going to reciprocate that just naturally. You're probably more likely to go along with things to try and be respectful of the culture or try and make things work, keep the peace. So you're also bringing something to the table. As well, you're less likely to have a big family at your back that's making demands. And in that sense, you've also got a lot more room to kind of become part of the family, to be absorbed into the family if that's something that you're open to, because they'll want to protect you and look after you. Can you get your hands off my calendar? Sorry, baby Hashem is attacking my kitchen. So, I don't know where I was. Okay, let's just move on. Usually, when you are dating an Arab man, you already know where it's going to be leading towards, and that's marriage, because it's such a strong part of Arab, Middle Eastern culture and life. Next to religion, it's like the most important thing. So you know that you're entering into something with the kind of that end goal. And that's the difference between dating someone in the West, is that you're probably just dating someone because you like them and you want to see where it's going, and there's nothing kind of serious about it necessarily. Whereas if you're dating an Arab man, it is more serious. And I don't have a lot of experience with this because, I met my husband and I got married to him. But I've seen with, generally with people dating in the country and things, that if an Arab man tells you that he's not interested in marriage, or that he just wants to see where things go, and he wants to have fun or whatever, then proceed with caution, because he is going so far against what is normal here that I would say that's probably the Middle Eastern standards of an F-boy. I don't want to get a load of hate from people, but that's just how I see it. So don't fool yourself. He has probably been planning his wedding as long as you have. And, speaking about weddings are probably one of the biggest sticking points between a couple, from the West and from the East, because they are so different, and you're probably going to want really different things from your wedding, and that will probably be, major point of contention between you two from what I've seen with other couples. But that's in the future and you're not married yet, so let's get to that point. The next biggest challenge, as I see it, is where you want to live. So if you are rooting to live in the West, where you're from, or maybe in a third country, and he just wants to go back home, this is such a big issue and such a common issue. What I see the most is a couple that have met in her country, and then he's studying or he's working, whatever, and then he ultimately wants to go home. And they begin their relationship in that country, and then he wants to take it back there with him, and this is where the issue comes. And typically what I suggest, because I get these messages all the time, I suggest you go to his country and you check it out and you see whether you like it or not. That's what we did, and I ended up not leaving. I literally didn't get on the plane back home. But it is going to be something that you're just going to have to work out between yourselves, where you see it going and where you see your future. Obviously there are people who want to leave the country and they want to go and they want to stay wherever you are, and they want to get a passport and visa and everything, to make their life work where you are, and they can see their lives there. But I would say a lot of men ultimately want to go back to where they're from, because their families are there, because that's where they feel their identity is most strongest. And again, it's that whole issue of family values. And what I see over and over and over again is the man eventually wearing his wife down, so they end up coming to live here. The next one is the most commonly asked question I get from just everybody, is if I had to convert to get married. No, I didn't, and it was never up for discussion, because generally, on a whole, people don't believe that you convert just for the sake of marriage. They want you to convert because you believe. And there is nothing illegal about a Christian woman marrying a Muslim man. So in reality, there shouldn't really be a problem. Ideally, people want couples to have the same faith. That is in an ideal world. But they shouldn't, and I'm not going to say they won't, but they shouldn't put that pressure on you for you to convert to his religion. This final point, it stands whether you are living in the West with your partner or you are living in the Middle East with your partner. Generally, on a whole, stereotypically, Arab men are going to encourage you to dress more modestly. And that is because sexuality is viewed in a slightly different way here. So they don't want you to be objectified, and that's why they encourage you to be a little bit more modest. And because, maybe it's what they've grown up with, if they've grown up in the Middle East, and it's what the culture is if you are living in the Middle East. But this can definitely feel like a big challenge for foreign women, especially when we've been told our whole lives that wearing hijab or being modest is an oppression. And it can feel like an oppression to suddenly be told, cover up a bit. And it's one of the major ways that living in this country has changed the way that I perceive women and objectification and feminism. But that's a whole other story. But overall, that is one of the biggest challenges that I see women facing. I've redone this outtake 4 times because I keep sounding really preachy, but ultimately it comes down to you and your outlook and what you are willing to accept and what you're willing to embrace and what your values are and how far you're willing to reevaluate your values. So yeah, at the end of the day, it comes down to you and your relationship and your partner. If there was anything else that you were thinking that would be interesting to hear on this subject, then please let me know. And I will try and expand a bit further on the topic. Okay, thanks for watching. Ma salama. Bye bye. Say bye bye. Bye bye. Yes.